From KTIV, Siouxland's news channel, this is News 4 at 10.
I will not pass this responsibility on to a fifth president. I will not mislead the American people by claiming that just a little more time in Afghanistan will make all the difference.
President Joe Biden defends the decision to pull out of Afghanistan, ending a 20-year war as Kabul falls to the Taliban. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stella Daskalakis. Matt is off tonight. The 20-year war in Afghanistan, the longest in U.S. history, ends with a chaotic flight from Kabul. The U.S. is leaving behind a country in which it has spent more than $2 trillion. It's a war which claimed more than 3,000 American military lives. Nearly 20 years after the September 11th attacks, members of the Taliban are back in the streets of Kabul. The Afghan capital is taken without resistance. The militant organization is now in full control of the city. Checkpoints were set up today with the very weapons American taxpayers bought for the Afghan army, which collapsed instead of fighting. Afghans fleeing the Taliban's hardline Islamic rule are desperate to leave at any price. They burst through security and climbed over walls of the Kabul airport. They spilled onto the tarmac, searching for any airplane that would take them far away from Afghanistan. On the military side of the airport, American troops trying to evacuate U.S. embassy staff found themselves overwhelmed, suddenly battling crowds and firing warning shots. But still, the crowds did not disperse. Instead, they ran along and clung to the undercarriage of a military transport plane as it taxied for takeoff. A translator in Afghanistan sent the following video. It shows the chaos outside the airport in Kabul as people try to leave the country. Satellite images show the throngs of people all over the tarmac at the Kabul airport. The rush stopped evacuation because planes could not take off or land. Still, in the country are tens of thousands of Afghan interpreters marked for death by the Taliban. State Department spokesperson Ned Price says in a briefing this afternoon, the U.S. is watching to see what governance will look like, and they're making plans to get as many people out as possible.
We are going to be engaged in this ambitious, in this aggressive, in this around-the-clock effort to relocate as many individuals as we possibly can.
The Pentagon says U.S. Northcom and the U.S. Army are working to create additional space to support as many as 22,000 refugees. Temporary sites could be located at Fort Bliss, Texas, and Camp McCoy, Wisconsin. President Biden is defending the administration's decision to continue withdrawing troops from Afghanistan. He spoke to the American public from the East Room of the White House earlier today. The president firmly says he stands by his decision, but he admits the Taliban's takeover happened more quickly than anticipated.
I stand squarely behind my decision. After 20 years, I've learned the hard way that there was never a good time to withdraw U.S. forces. That's why we're still there. We were clear-eyed about the risks. We planned for every contingency, but I always promised the American people that I would be straight with you. The truth is, this did unfold more quickly than we had anticipated.
The president blames the Afghan government for allowing the collapse while reinforcing that ending all military involvement in the country is the right thing to do.
How many more generations of America's daughters and sons would you have me send to fight Afghanistan's civil war when Afghan troops will not? How many more lives, American lives, is it worth?
Biden did not take questions following his address. He did say if the Taliban tries to attack American personnel, the response will be swift and forceful. Lawmakers in both parties are reacting to the chaos in Afghanistan. Republicans compared the American evacuation to the scenes in 1975 at the U.S. Embassy in Vietnam, calling the developments an unmitigated disaster.
Every terrorist around the world, in Syria, in Iraq, in Yemen, in Africa, are cheering the defeat of the United States military by a terrorist organization in Afghanistan.
Early last month, President Biden brushed off comparisons to the fall of Vietnam, yet video out of Afghanistan today showed the dangerous scramble to get U.S. citizens to safety and the hopelessness of allies who may be left behind.